When you want only the best for your pet, check out AbbybellPetDesigns.com. We offer quality products such as floppy beds, crate pads, round pet beds, pillow slip covers, belly bands, and more. All products come in a variety of colors and sizes, guaranteed to satisfy your pet's particular style. Your pet deserves to be pampered, so shop at AbbybellPetDesigns.com. If you don't see the item you want listed in our shop, just drop us a line and we'll be glad to make the product of your pet's dreams. AbbybellPetDesigns.com.
And now, it's time to Stand for Truth with the host of Stand for Truth Radio, Susan.
Welcome to the new week. How is everybody doing? Hey, Carmen, NHC, Marianne, hello. Noelle, how's everybody? Louis, how are you? Lynn, Wayne, missed it. So I know I missed somebody. Hey, Alan. Alan, what are you doing over there? Happy Monday. Yes, it is. Alan's here too. Good to see you. Armin, how's everybody? Isis did what? I just woke up. Yep, Isis did. You'll see. Hey, Rhonda, good to see you. Good morning, Beck. Hello. How is everybody doing? Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Mike. How are you? Good morning. Rhonda, I see you waving. She did it 1,000 times. Hey, Jack, how are you? Hey, Lynn. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining. Thank you for, I don't like the Facebook Live. Neither do I, Alan. And half the time, people are writing stuff on Facebook that I go back later and see they were writing, but I couldn't see it during the show. Hey, Dr. Jean, how are you? Thank you so much for the super hearts. NHC, hey, Lynn. Hello, Danielle, how are you? Hey, Co. Co Jr., how's everybody? Wendell, good to see you. Okay, so let me begin. I'm going to begin with really quickly here, and then we'll move into what we need to talk about. A glorious day. Yes, it is. Good morning. Hi from New York. Well, hello from New York. Hey, cousin. Is it snowing in New York? What's the weather like where you are? Okay, so whoever loves instruction loves knowledge, but he who hates correction is stupid. This is in Proverbs 12. A good man obtains favor from the Lord, but a man of wicked intentions he will condemn. Man is not established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous cannot be moved. An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who causes shame is like rottenness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceitful. The words of the wicked are, lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright will deliver them. The wicked are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous will stand. Hey, Rhonda, good to see you over there. Lynn from Henderson. Is that Henderson, Nevada? Just not sure. In the 50s in New York. Ah, okay. Beck said. How is everybody? Just quickly, just a little reminder, my ears are not like yours, available at Amazon.com. Please give a positive message of encouragement to a child that you love. This book is great for children ages approximately 4 through 10 years of age. Again, it's at Amazon.com. My ears are not like yours. I'm great, Danielle. Hey, Monique, good morning. Thank you for this very wise opening prayer. Hello, everyone. Tillit, good to see you. Boy, a lot has happened. Some things that have happened that are not being reported in the news. So I want to talk about that, but I want to give you a quick update. Does everybody remember Kate? Remember the lady who had a young woman who had a baby and they found out that she had colon cancer? Does anybody remember her? We prayed for her in here a lot. I wanted to, Amazon.com, my ears are not like yours. Thank you, Carmen. Yes, we prayed for her a lot. I hadn't heard anything back, and I wanted to get some information to you. I found out this weekend, hey Diane, that remember she had stage 3 colon cancer. That's her problem. Oh, how sad. Yeah, Jules, it's very sad. They discovered that when she delivered her child. She had all kinds of problems. She was in the hospital. I think, as I recall, she was in a coma for a while. They found out she had colon cancer, and it was stage 3. Colon cancer, curable, typically when you get that far along, not too good of a prognosis. But I wanted to let you know that the update I get on Kate is as this moment, she is cancer free. And I don't know if you recall, but the cancer had also spread to her liver. And the word is she is cancer free. So, hey, Marlene, good to see you. Please keep praying for her that God will continue to, enact miracles in her life. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Joy. I have continued to pray for her this entire time because I wasn't sure what was going on with her, but I wanted to keep praying. I pray that you would continue to keep praying. I know, Rhonda, the way I look at it, I know she was taking, had some chemotherapy from what I understand. I don't know how you come back from a stage 3 cancer and be cured of it and be cancer free, but for God. Yes, I would think so, Patrick. God has a plan for her. We have an awesome God. Yes, we do. Praise Jesus. Good morning, Chicago Pops. God is at work all the time. Monique said, praise the Lord. Absolutely. I think that is miraculous. It's nothing short of miraculous. As I've told you before, my husband's aunt had stage 4 lung cancer. She was cured, healed by God, cancer-free. So only God can do those things in my mind. Other people may disagree. Hey, Barbara, my dad died of liver cancer, never drank a drop, Marlene said. Yeah. It's pretty bad. Please pray for my sister. She has breast cancer. Mom told me last night. Okay, gosh, Carmen, sorry to hear that. Pray for Carmen's sister who has been diagnosed with breast cancer. Pray that God will heal her as he has healed so many others. Hey, Kitty Lover, good to see you. Pray for God's continued watch and healing for Kate, Monique says. Yeah, hopefully, Carmen, they can do something right away. Barbara, good morning. Get her in there, get treatments going. It's horrible. God bless all fighting this terrible disease. Absolutely. Sending prayers to Carmen, Beck said. So yeah, I wanted to let you know that. I thought that was a bit of good news in a world full of not so much good news, as we're hearing already this morning. But I also, before I forget it, I want to let you know we typically have God's Views on political news on Tuesdays, but this week, because of Bill's schedule, we are having it today. It will be live today at 4 o'clock Eastern. So if you'd like to watch that, yes, today, Carmen, that will be on God's Views on Political News page on Facebook. You'll be able to comment, ask questions. I will have it up on my SusanKnowles.com later so that you can see the replay of that and hear a little bit about what we're talking about today. But it will be today, and next week it will go back to Tuesday. Hey, Lee. Carmen, Rhonda wanted to know, can you give your sister's first name so that people could, when they're talking about her and praying for her, that they can talk about her name. They can, say her name. Cindy. Her name is Cindy. Carmen's sister's name is Cindy. Lynn, that is today at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific time. And again, at God's Views on Political News page on Facebook. Hey, Georgia. Alarm set, Marlene said. I know. Marlene, I'm going to have to set the clock or I'm going to forget about it. And that's really bad because I'm supposed to be there. So I wanted to let you guys know, just heard the news about Kate. Wow, I know, Lee. Isn't that amazing? Keep praying for her. Keep praying that God will do it. What's it, Central? I think you're 2 hours behind me, right? Or 2 hours ahead of me. So that would be 3 o'clock Central, I believe. I think isn't it 3? Aren't you 2 hours ahead of me in Pacific? So if I said 1 o'clock for me, wouldn't that be 2 Central or 3 Central? Sorry, 3 Central, 4 Eastern. So 1 o'clock Pacific, 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern. Just go to God's Views on Political News page on Facebook, and you'll be able to Need more coffees. I know. You'll be able to, like I said, comment, ask questions. Monique said prayers for Carmen's sister Cindy as well. Easter is an hour ahead or behind. No, Eastern is 3 hours ahead of me. Barbara, right now, Kate is cancer free. So, pretty miraculous. And wanted to let you know, I post a lot of everything, on my SusanKnowles.com page. What you can do, if you go there, there's a section over on the right-hand side. It'll ask for your email. If you sign up, yes, Eastern is 3 hours ahead of me, Beck. If you sign up for my email, if you put your email in there on SusanKnowles.com, every time I post something, it will come up. You'll get a notification, and you'll get it in your email. Yeah, what time is it in Moscow? I don't know, Ivanka, you tell us. And so go ahead and do that. And that way, it's on the right-hand side of the column. It says, your email. Put your email in there. And then when you do that, you'll get a notification every time I post an article. And I think it comes in your inbox daily when I post something, Carmen. So if I post something every day, you're going to get something every day. But you got to sign up for it or you won't get it. So that way, the articles I do, you will get them. And you won't have to go searching for them on Twitter. So if you want to, retweet those articles, you can do that. So that would be great. All right. Now, I also wrote an article today on Ronnie Jackson. If you would, please go read that article. And it's about what the Democrats did to him. It's been announced, and I don't know if this is still in the allegation stage, but it was probably going to be announced that he will not be returning to his post as the White House physician. I don't know if that was because basically, when he left, somebody else, Sean Conley, was put in that position. And so I think they probably thought that he was going to get the job as a VA secretary, so it became sort of a permanent position for Sean Conley and a promotion, and they don't want to go back and demote him and put Ronnie Jackson back in his place. But I want you to read that article. There's some information there on John Tester that I want you to see, and you might want to do a little bit more research on John Tester. It's about time that we started getting information out about those who want to do a public character assassination. Ivanka, calm it down. Don't be disrespectful. Don't be disrespectful of the president in here. Hey, Teresa, lost everything again by the liars, tramps, and thieves. Yeah, he wasn't given an opportunity to go and do anything in public and answer questions. It was disgusting what they did to Admiral Jackson. Yes, it was. It was, Bob. And, again, character assassination is not okay. The guy should have been given an opportunity to go before a hearing before they slammed him in public. And what they did, they gathered information. It's hearsay. Hey, Teresa, it would be just like if you were applying for a government job. They would go around to everybody and say, hey, have you heard anything about Susan? Have you heard anything about Barbara? And people would say, well, I heard somebody say once that X, Y, and Z. Or I think I heard blah, blah, blah. So they put all that together. And that's what the Democrats put out in public for all of us to see. None of it had been looked at, or if it had been, obviously he passed muster, right? He went through four vetting processes. So obviously none of that made any difference, and maybe it turned out to be untrue. It's all hearsay, as Barbara said. It's all gossip. And so that's what they put out. And that's why they discovered later on, according to the Secret Service, there was never any reports of Ronnie Jackson wrecking a car. It could be liable, but they're not going to sue for that. They're going to say he's a public figure, and it's a higher standard to try to get defamation. It was announced this morning on national news that he will not return to his previous duty. Yeah, they were talking about it yesterday. I guess, Patrick, what I'm saying is the president hasn't officially announced it, so, it's probably true. Susan blocked the troll. She's everywhere, the one I was talking about, Barbara, a minute ago. That one. So anyway, please read that article if you will. Please share it. Look at the information I put in there about John Tester. I don't think that one is Barbara. I don't think so. So, but anyway, hey, thanks, Cully. I think that you need to see that information on him, and as I said, there's probably more information. I dug that information up. I had to kind of look for it to find it. Okay, Barbara. I had to look for that information to find it. From what I understand, there are rumors about other information. I don't put out rumors. I put out things that I can, hyperlink sources to. And that's what I've done. So you'll see the sources that I've used to get that information. And I'm sure that there's more out there. Isn't it sad how a seemingly good man can be ruined this way? Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Patrick, that's going to happen more and more and more. Right now, Gina Haspel, Rand Paul and John McCain right now are against Gina Haspel in regards to her participation in CIA interrogations, I think, where there was waterboarding and all that. From what I understand, that a long time ago, she was cleared of any of those, allegations against her. But here we go again. And from what I'm understanding, what I'm reading is that right now the White House isn't backing her up like they did with Pompeo or anybody else. This is the Democrat playbook. That's right, Cully. It certainly is. Terribly disgusting what happened to Ronnie Jackson, Monique said. Yep, absolutely was. Absolutely. Did I read Comey's book? I didn't need toilet paper, so no, I didn't. So anyway, that's what went on with him, as you probably saw from, so what I stand for waterboarding, Barbara said. Yeah, I don't know, Rand Paul's name is starting to crop up almost as much as Rand Paul, and so that's really concerning to me. Trouble is, once it's shown, his false reputation is already ruined. That's right, Lee, and they know that, and they absolutely know that. So it's about time that we got the same information and showed it about the left. Monique said, if the constituents have any common sense, they'll vote Tester out of office. He's a slime ball, just like all the haters at the dinner over the weekend, Monique said. No, Comey's light doesn't shed anything on anything except his BS. So I'm not interested in Comey's book. I don't want to hear about Comey's book. The only time I want to hear about Comey, really, is when they start handing out indictments. But as for his book, the garbage fiction that it is, I don't want to hear about it. Did I make that clear? I don't know how I could be any clearer about that. I'm not going to waste my time, not going to waste my money on Comey. He's a leaker, he's a liar, and who knows what else. And Ivanka Putin, you're on thin ice, because I'm being told that you troll mini scopes. Comey is dishonest. Hey, Josette, good morning, my lovely Sue. The Dems are looking to have many scalps they can get. It's pure evil, but it will all backfire. I'm hoping so, Josette. It should win, and how soon, quickly, I don't know. Yeah, Ivanka Trump is not even a female, I'm sure, and has no relation. No, well, it's Ivanka Putin. So you can tell that this person is a left wing. Let's keep the Russian collusion BS going. So, just so you know, you can block Ivanka Putin if you'd like. It was written for dumb. Okay, Marlene, I won't. Good, Danny blocked her. Everybody, if you want to block her, feel free to do so. Or the person that it is probably, I don't know, man, maybe, that pretending to be a woman. Your guess is as good as mine. Okay, so let's get into some information that is absolutely, you cannot find. Oh, Bruce blocked it weeks ago. Okay, good for you. Some information that you cannot find in, okay, there you go. There we go. Bye, Ivanka. So Ivanka's out. They'll have to come back in under another name, which I'm sure that they will soon do, and come back in another day with some other trashy name. So, some information. This happened last night, about, I would say, around 9 o'clock Pacific time. Nobody is reporting on this except a couple of people. WikiLeaks did report it, had a film of it, but one or two other, maybe Daily Caller, and that's about it. Last night in South Hum and Aleppo, there were airstrikes that were conducted over in Syria. Okay, so just get it, it's going into Syria. There were two locations that basically bunker busting bombs took out. So, hey Molly, yeah, many accounts, different spellings exactly. So Amir Sarfati came on. He also confirmed that those strikes had taken place. He believes that, oh, there goes Facebook. Bye, Facebook. He believed that it was perhaps the United States, because of the bunker busting bombs, that the United States went in, did the airstrikes, and they were assisted by Israel. Now, no, bunker busting bombs. That's not swear words. So anyway, Israel is not taking credit for it. United States is not taking credit for it, but they feel that that's what happened. Supposedly, around at least 26 were killed. Amir felt that it was more, closer to 40 some. One place that blew up and it looked like firecrackers going off is that was where Iran had put rockets underground, and those were rockets going off. They had watched them, Israel had watched them bring those rockets in for about 10 days. 2 minutes in jail for calling Comey a name. Wow. Amazing, Barbara. Yeah, and, Facebook decided to disconnect me. Two suicide, no, not two suicide bombers. That's a totally different place. I'll talk about that in a minute. But what we did was we saw where the rockets were. We went in there, assuming it was us, and Israel went in there, destroyed those rockets. Hey, Dawn. And also what happened was there was a recruitment center in, right, I think that was in Aleppo, where people were coming in to help Iran, and they blew that up as well. So a lot of people died because they were there to help Iran. They gave them to Hamas. Or I guess, what if I need a new hoe, Barbara? Okay. My newsfeed finally posted and said it was in fact Israel, so I don't know, but it was some Israeli official did say that it was Israel. From what I understand, Dawn, they were saying that Israel assisted us because America typically is the only country that has those bunker busting bombs. Israel can buy them from us, but they're saying, Amir was saying last night that all of their airplane were back. So he said the word back, and meaning that they had gone out to kind of assist. And those bombs can only be detonated and go off if there's a laser assisted way to show the bombs where the target is, I guess. I mean, I don't know a lot about it. But anyway, that's what happened. And again, nothing's really in the news about that. I mean, two places maybe had something where they mentioned that even took place. For those who are Christians, those who are looking at end times prophecy, those that are looking about the Middle East. Oh, let me just turn off Facebook and see if I can get it back on. But if you're looking at that for that purpose, then, it's getting very, very close, perhaps, to Isaiah 17 and Ezekiel 38 and 39. You heard it on Fox this morning, Danielle? I mean, I don't think they mentioned it until kind of early this morning. So anyway, that was pretty incredible. I sent his feed, never thought of U.S. having the bunker busters. Yeah. So also what happened, this happened after what took place in Syria. Blocking in fascist. I don't know what that means, but I guess you're going to say is fascist. No, blocking is not fascist when you have a periscope and it's your periscope. Then you can do whatever you want to do. So, okay. right after that, I don't know, within an hour maybe, they had an explosion, a suicide bombing in Afghanistan. Yes, I know it's a troll. Uh, they There was a suicide bomber. There were two explosions that went off. Let's see if I can find out any more information. There were 29 killed, 9 of whom were reporters. It's Twitter's Periscope. Well, no, it's my Periscope. So bye-bye. So one on the, I guess the second bombing, one guy dressed up, one suicide bomber dressed up as a cameraman and went in, and that's where people got blown up. But as I said, 9 of them were reporters. A BBC reporter got killed, and 8 others, and pretty horrific. 29 in all killed. It looks like there were twin bombings, and pretty disgusting. One thing I failed to mention about the Syria airstrike, that airstrike occurred at the 47th Military Brigade. Probably, Alan, probably the same person. So, again, if you're looking at end time stuff, the one in Syria is pretty amazing. Why all this activity in Syria, Susan? I've read across the board that conflict is winding down. Well, I think, Hidden Gems, that what you're being told in the news is maybe not accurate. Iran is still moving its military into Syria. And as long as that happens, Israel has said, we're not going to allow you to do that. And so, it's still happening. If Iran is still bringing in military rockets, missiles, whatever the case may be, then, there's going to be at least Israel going in and blowing that up. So, I know that we're always told, oh, everything's fine, ISIS is gone. And I think for pretty much, it seems like ISIS may not be too much in there. The ISIS that we have really now, if you want, quote unquote, it's Iran. Iran's the problem. Iran and Russia working together are the problem. And, if you read Ezekiel 38, one of the things it talks about is, in the final days when they go in to go after and attack Israel, one of the countries that is involved is Ethiopia. Now, you're not hearing anything per se about Ethiopia. However, if you look at what's going on in some of those countries, there is an increase in ISIS, going to Africa because the African countries, because they're being run out of places like Syria. So maybe they're, going to come around and come back with Iran, Russia, Libya, Ethiopia, and Turkey going in there together. So you think this is more to do with Iran moving into Syria? Yes, Hidden Gem, because, Africa's all ISIS now, pretty much. Iran is eventually, according to the Bible, and you can see it happening, they will be going down into Israel. They want to wipe Israel off the face of the map. They have always wanted to do that. Nothing's changed. And they're continuing to do that. And I don't know if you saw, too, over the weekend, they're Palestinians and trying to go into Israel. I think that maybe happened Friday, trying to just storm into Israel, and people were killed there. Do you see that air? I think it says air. Alar. I can't even. Alistair, maybe. I don't know. It's so small I can't see it. So tiny. So, there's a lot going on in the Middle East, but we're seeming to focus just on Kabul. I don't know why. Maybe because we want to make President Trump look bad because we're still in Afghanistan. When Trump didn't put us there. Yeah, that's not your name, but I can't even pronounce it, so I won't even try. So, again, if you haven't seen that update, you may want to go watch the update on beholdisrael.org, the latest, most recent one that Amir gave, and you can get more information about what happened last night. On Twitter, if you go to WikiLeaks, you can actually see the bombs being dropped and the attack and how close it was to the people who were filming everything. It's on my timeline too, I believe, but I'm not really sure. But WikiLeaks definitely has it. They were kind of like the first people to put it out. So bombs blew up in night by who and to whom. Okay, Carmen, once again, it appears that it was the United States, with the assistance of Israel, that went into Syria and blew up a military base, if you will, that Iran was trying to establish, where they had rockets that they had placed underground. They blew that up. They also blew up a recruitment center that was being staffed, by people coming in to fight with Israel. So they blew it up. And about 40, Amir thinks about 40-some people died. Most people are saying now 22 Iranians, 4 Syrians. So, and about 60 wounded. So, again, we don't know exactly who did it. Africa is a mess and always has been for years. We only have about 4,000 troops there. Yeah, Carmen got it that time. Okay. So, but again, all we're focusing on right now is what happened in Kabul with the 2 suicide bombers. But yeah, I mean, I don't blame Israel, because if you allow, if they allow Iran to go in and set up right there at the Golan Heights, they're going to all go right down into Israel. And then, Israel's going to have to defend itself. And in the end times, there's going to be no one helping Israel. They will be on their own. We won't be helping them. No one will. And that is a way for God to show everyone that it is God, who saved Israel and no one else. So did Israelis die? No. Nobody in Israel has died recently that I know of, except for that flood, which was horrible. It was like a flash flood in Jerusalem, where there were about 9 middle school kids, I think, that died. They were out on some trip, like a hiking type trip, and all of a sudden a flash flood came up and it just swept them away. So that was horrible. If you guys could, would you please retweet this? We're past the halfway point. Any news when the embassy is going to be moved? Lee, embassy should probably open on May 14th. Isn't Pompeo in Iran right now? Yes, Noel. No, he is in Israel. He's in Israel. What happened was he went to Saudi Arabia, and then from Saudi Arabia, he went over to Israel. And then kind of right after that, that's when we went, supposedly we went in with Israel and blew up the base and the other place, whatever you want to call it, the 2 locations in Syria. So, coincidence? I don't think so, but, And it'll be interesting to see, because, we still continue to talk about the peace process in the Middle East. And there can never be peace in the Middle East until God's return. But there is going to be an agreement that eventually is entered into between Israel and, I don't know if it's Palestine. It's a peace agreement, a 7-year peace agreement, that in 3.5 years in, Israel will find out it was deceived by the Antichrist. Heard something about POTUS will go too. Yeah, President Trump was asked during the rally in Michigan over the weekend, would he be going to the embassy? And he said he would like to. And that embassy, as you know, they tried to have Donald Trump sign something saying they were going to spend $1 billion on that embassy. Donald Trump caught that, didn't like it, called over to Israel and said, hey, what's going on? And they said, look, we can build that for you for $150,000 because we already have a location there. It'd be almost like a remodeling, I guess. And Donald Trump said, you know what? Why don't you just spend like $300,000, do a great job. Sorry, I'm late. Good morning. Hey, Chezzy, good morning. Chezzy, you'll want to go back and watch the replay. There's some really good news at the very beginning. So about 300,000, Carmen, they were saying, and instead of $1 billion. So again, saving the American people money. And if that had been somebody else, it wouldn't have been that way. Oh, yes, he said not so much. Oh, wait, he saved money again. I know. Did we use Moabs in Syria? We use bunker busting bombs in Syria. And I don't know, that's kind of, in a way, the mother of all bombs, but I don't know if you could really classify it that way. The way Dems try to pocket our money, I know. They don't really care because all they want to do is spend your money. Let's see. So that's the lowdown, if you will, on what's going on in the Middle East. Closer to home, the caravan got to the border, and watching what was happening, so far the news is that they've taken in, there were about 200 people that were going to try to cross the border. They have said to the people now, they've taken some in, of course, and they've said to the people now, right now you're going to have to wait on the Mexico side because we don't have enough room for you. Dawn, I said, did you say no Moabs, Dawn? If only we would defund Planned Parenthood. Marlene, I don't think anybody's going to be able to do that. Stop them and turn them around. I know, Carmen. G's autocorrect, no Moabs, yeah. Just bunker busting bombs, Dawn. So anyway, that's, I was kind of watching it on TV. Basically, there was a little rally down there. Everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. And some of those people climbed up on these fences. They didn't try to cross in, but they climbed up on the fences and started singing, "Yes, we can." So before Trump got into office, I honestly never knew just how corrupt politicians were just saying. I know, Monique. He really, really has opened up eyes. I know. Noel says, sorry, America's full. Check back some other time. Refugees fleeing their country but carrying the flag of the country they are running from. I know, Patrick. I noticed that too. Jules is back. Yay. Hey, Mary Ann's back. I hate they're sitting on the wall taunting us. Marlene, it's just why not, right? Soros money probably got them there with that organization that they're with. I mean, it's ridiculous. And what happens? What happens is that we have people who are sitting here on this side welcoming their own demise into the country. And it has nothing to do with the people. It has a lot to do with the motive and the agenda. The U.S. Embassy delivered under budget on time, and beautiful POTUS is very prudent and wise with the taxpayers' money. Love him for that. Hope other world leaders take a page. They won't, Josette. Yeah, make Mexico great again. Yeah. And I guess Mexico supposedly helped in stopping some of the people, which is hard for me to believe. But these people coming over from Central America, they've already been told what to say. They've been told how to deal with, the Border Patrol, what to say when they're asked questions about, what is it in your country, blah, blah, blah. Again, these people helping them come into our country, not knowing who they are, what their intentions are, really, are helping with the demise of our country. It's a setup by globalists. Yep. It may have something to do with the people. We have really no idea who they are. Yeah, it may have something to do with the people. We don't know. We don't know who they are, where they're really from, what their motivation is. There are a lot of people who can say that, I'm from Honduras and I'm being, tortured, this, that, and the other, or I have to flee the country because I'm being persecuted. You don't know if that's true. And we don't have time to vet them when they're coming across the border and want to have asylum. And again, these are the same people, when they come across the border, they'll say, okay, come back in a year and a half for your hearing. And those people are laughing all the way out. Trump's election did not bring out the worst in people, but rather unveiled the vileness and absolute ignorance of millions. That too, Monique. By the droves. They just passed a safe country in Mexico. Yep. By the droves. It's an economical, not fear of violence. Yep. Yeah, I mean, if that were the case, everybody from Venezuela would be here because of the pictures that you've seen back there of people eating out of trash and eating with the dogs trying to survive, which is, hideous and doesn't have to be that way. But we can't, we can't go into every country and change every country. We just can't do it. It isn't our job to do that. And unfortunately, I mean, if we wanted to do that, people would love it, the fact that we're talking with North Korea. Well, I am from USA and my nation is full and we are broke, so come on, but you get nothing. Yeah. Nothing, not. Except Syria, apparently. Well, Julia, there's a lot to Syria, why we're over in Syria and what we're doing. But Venezuela is a socialist hellhole. I mean, even, that's right, Richie. You got to understand too, we're supposed to be allies of Israel. We know that Syria is being set up right now as a staging area, if you will, for Iran and Russia and other countries to go down in there. There's always an excuse to meddle in the Middle East, always. And there probably always will be, Julia. But also, we have some interest in the Golan Heights. We have leases there in the Golan Heights where there is a plenty of natural gas and oil and everything else that Iran and Russia want. It's just, and it's just a fact. Should we have interest there? Well, why not? If we're paying, to have that interest there, we're paying money to have leases and agreements, why shouldn't we be there? And we need to protect our interests. And at the same time, protect Israel. And, again, Donald Trump didn't get us into Syria. It was Obama. And he created a mess. So, what do you do with it? I don't know. We have to just kind of put up with it until we leave. Trump had it right before he was president. We lose billions by being there. Yeah, we do. I don't know how much of us is still there, though, Julia. I mean, seriously. I think it's that whole area has been taken over by Russia and Iran. And I'll tell you one thing. When Obama allowed Putin to move in there, which he did, I mean, it basically caused us to have to be there longer than we should have been there. I mean, remember a time when Putin was telling Obama, look, we don't want you here, America, kind of step to the side. We're taking care of this. We don't even need you here for ISIS. But, he got us in there, and there we sit, and we're still there. But now doing strikes against Iran, apparently. Funny thing, I've noticed that you guys have border agents on the borders, but how is it that Mexico doesn't have any, or I'm wrong? I don't think Mexico has any. I've never seen anybody down in Mexico on the borders. There's no need. They're running for the MS-13. Fox talking about Syria bombing right now. Okay, finally, Marlene. That only happened, 12 hours ago, practically? I mean, that's ridiculous. It should be national news, but we're too busy worrying about, other things, I guess. Mexico protects their southern border pretty well, though. By allowing people to go back and forth across the border. I mean, how do they protect it? They certainly don't. They didn't protect those people, especially the women who were killed and raped by MS-13, and the men that were killed and raped by I don't know if rape, but by MS-13. I mean, they have pictures of the rape trees and where they have the women's underwear and their bras hanging in the tree along with their heads and everything else. I don't know. I wouldn't be going down there, but that's just me. And if that's protecting their southern border, okay. What happened to Stormy? Stormy was put on hold, Lynn. A judge made that whole case. Right now, it's put on hold because of Cohen. They're afraid that, since he pled the Fifth, they don't want to incriminate him, and he wouldn't be able to defend himself in the Stormy case. Refugees on TJ border speak language and live the same culture as Mexico. Yep, that's true, Jules. Mexico has a wall but lets people pass on the way to the U.S. Absolutely, Richie. If they truly left their countries for asylum and because of horrific circumstances, they would have parked their backsides and their families at the first point of freedom versus traveling 2,000 miles to the U.S., Monique said. We sent Stormy to Mexico on a long vacation. Yeah. Maybe she had to do a photo shoot down in Mexico. So I'm sure that you probably saw the White House Correspondents' Dinner, vile, disgusting. If that was a comedian, they really got ripped off. One of the things I know we all know about what she said about Sarah Sanders, which was just vile. What she said about Kellyanne Conway, vile. The left always sends out women to attack other, conservative women, professional women. That's how they do it. We give you free stuff just because. I know, Jules. So, having said all that, that was a disgrace. I mean, it was just, but did you expect anything else? The association, even though they said that the comedian wasn't doing what they wanted and she went far beyond what she should have, they didn't apologize publicly to Sarah Sanders or to Kellyanne Conway. They didn't do that, and they probably never will. But I think here's one of the vilest things too that was done. Stormy does Dallas. Yep, we don't want Stormy in Texas, Chessie said. Yeah. Jokes about abortion, right. Here's what she said. The joke centered on Vice President Mike Pence's anti-abortion stance position. She said about Pence, he thinks abortion is murder, which first of all, don't knock it till you try it. And when you do try it, really knock it. You've got to get that baby out of there. And yeah, sure, you can groan all you want. I know a lot of you are very anti-abortion. Unless it's the one you got for your secret mistress. Now, so vile, so disgusting. Abortion isn't funny in any way, shape, or form. Yes, she joked about abortion. She did get one thing right. She did call it a baby and not a blob or tissue or whatever. Stormy probably knows a lot about abortions, Chessie said. I'm freaking out. I know, Jules. But yeah, she was rancid. She really was. I had a couple things to say and tweeted out to her. I'm sure she probably didn't see them, but whatever. I made my voice heard. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Again, this is what the left does. This is how they send the women out. So you can't talk about Me Too because it's woman versus woman. Instead of women like that building other women up, is what should be doing. There were only a few on the left who said, including Mika, who basically said, we should not be doing this to women, and women should stand up for other women regardless of what political party you're in. Yeah, she joked about abortion. Let that sink in. Nothing sicker, Jules said. Sarah is the best. Mexico is a mess, just like Venezuela. Our prime minister got hammered for sending back 82 illegals to their country. That comedian sound as though she was on something. No, I don't think just that. She wasn't on anything. She was just that vile. I think that's probably just who she is. Mika is disgusting, Bob said. Yeah, but she did stand up this time for Sarah, and treating women poorly. Trump said the P word, CNN had no problem with her. Exactly, Cully. All women who were all true women should have walked out. Yep. I saw correspondence and ran the other way. I knew it would be boring, but it was a train wreck, Richie said. Yeah, I didn't watch it. Didn't want to have anything to do with it. I don't want to waste my time on vileness. I mean, seriously. If you go back and you look at anything with Obama, with Obama, nothing was said like that. She's just a sad little woman. We need to pray they come to truth. Yep. Speaking of sad little women, I don't know what's going on with Joy Reid and her saying that I was hacked, I wasn't hacked, I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, when she had all the anti-gay posts. Did you see video of this comedian's daughter as vile as her mother? No, I didn't, Jules, thank goodness. I watched and became sick, Barbara said. I felt bad for Sarah. Marianne said, I think, Marianne, Sarah knew it was going to be bad. I don't know if she knew how bad it was going to be and that they would sink this low, but she probably should have been prepared. And quite honestly, not gone. Somebody else said on the left, oh, that was all a setup. Trump made them go so that that this would be set against them and people would feel sorry for Sarah Sanders and Kellyanne Conway. I mean, seriously, you have to come up with that type of garbage to defend what that comedian did. And Jimmy Kimmel, of course, defended that comedian. Personal attacks are wrong. Yep, I never ever heard of this comedian. I never have either. Richie, supposedly she's on that Trevor Noah show, that whatever it's called now, the Daily Show. She will have to stand in front of God, explain, won't be laughing then. Yep. A lot of crickets in the room that night, Cully said. Sarah handled it with grace. I would have stood up and told her to get out. It was lower than low, and no one could prepare for that type of ugly. Yeah, me either. Chezzy said Jimmy Kimmel doesn't know funny either. Yeah, Richard, he doesn't really. If you've seen some of the vile things he's done that he thinks is funny. You know, I look at these people doing this to other people, and I just think to myself, what would you do if this was happening to your mother, your grandmother, your aunt, your sister, your wife? Would you be okay with it? And if you can sit and tell me that you would be perfectly okay with it happening to your relatives, then for them to be talked to like that, if you're okay with it, it's like, okay, we got nothing else to talk about, and I'll let you go, you know? But, I mean, if you can't sit there and tell me that it would be okay for your relatives to be talked to that way, then don't even come up and try to defend what they did to Sarah Sanders and Kellyanne Conway. It's disgusting. And other women, you know, who are vile like that against other women, shows you how vile that woman, that particular person is. Kimmel has never been funny to me, or Fallon just not funny, Carmen said. CBS says she's getting her own late-night talk show. Sad, but no surprise. Unbelievable. Yeah, well, won't be watching that either. So, you know. Heard they felt bad and were sending her a sorry basket. Pfft. You know, it'll be interesting to see what Sarah does when she comes out for the first press conference. I think she'll handle it well. It's the Democratic Party, no surprise, really. I know, Marianne. It should be a surprise. We shouldn't have sunk this low that it isn't a surprise. Sarah should have gotten her turn on the stage. Yep, all of Trump's administration should skip that event. I don't think anybody should go. And if anybody in the taxpayers, if we're paying any money to that, I want my money back. Yes, she's a strong woman. 2911 said, yeah, she is. She'll rise above it. She absolutely will. She may not even mention it or make a quick little joke about it and move on. And Jim Acosta, he wasn't worried about it either. He's like, oh, you know, I mean, who cares about the nasty jokes? You know, I wanted to know more about X, Y, and Z. He doesn't care about the nasty jokes because they weren't made against April Ryan, you know, his co-worker, or his mother, or his sister. They say she walked in with her head high. Yep. I know, Barbara. It's too bad that she even had to go. And maybe she didn't have to go, but maybe, you know, they sent her as somebody to represent the White House. I don't know. Nobody should go to those things. They're disgusting. Last night proved how disgusting they really are. So, it shows you the callousness that April's Fools. It shows you the callousness that we have, you know, in this world now towards other people. What comes around goes around. Yeah, Marianne, I mean, I don't want to see people necessarily, you know, talking back about them that way, but I think, you know, truth about them, I have no problem. Bring out the truth about them. No, she went to an after party, Barbara said. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people went to an after party. I you know, and it's so sad. You know, another Kathy Griffin, yeah. I mean, why does it matter what Sarah Sanders looks like is what I want to know. Why does it matter? What would make her look better to the people in the, you know, the eyes of the left? Is there anything? I don't think so. But, you know, come on. Oh, Kathy Griffin was there. I just don't know why women attack other women's, you know, looks when they're professionals. Kathy Griffin praised her. No surprise there. She's beautiful, just not skinny. Yeah, I don't. And Barbara, I don't care really what she looks like. Why was Kathy there? I don't know. Taking notes, probably. Camera hog there also. Great. Oh, that's just great. They are mad that Sarah Sanders rips them a new one every time they have a press conference with her. Yeah, and Richie, I'm really sick of hearing, oh, she's out there lying all the time. She's telling, you know, she's putting forward to the press, to the world, what her boss is telling her. Who would not do that in their position? And I'm not saying that President Trump is lying, but it's her job. That's what her job is. You know, I didn't like it when the press secretaries of Obama said things that Jay Carney for one, I knew he was lying, but I didn't hear anybody raking him over the coals or saying that he wasn't attractive or something else. You know, it's ridiculous. Sarah Sanders is gorgeous and she's fancier with her clothing since she started this job. Yeah, probably got an increase. Hey, Alexis. Christie was there, free meal. I saw him eating, Lynn. They got the camera on him as he was taking a bite. I think Sarah is beautiful inside and outside. I do too, Daniel. I don't, you know, does everybody have to be a size 0 with, you know, certain color hair and same, you know, height, certain way? I mean, good Lord. For people on the left who are supposed to be tolerant of other people, they sure aren't. Yeah, David Hogg, the little... Okay, here's what the Piglet had to say. Something new with him. Let me just put that out there if I can find it. Gun control. Now, he wants to stop Vice President... Yeah, God made us all different. 29/11, yes. He wants to stop Vice President Pence from speaking at the NRA convention on May 4th. So he's got a petition out with MoveOn.org, no surprise, trying to stop Vice President Pence from speaking with the NRA. And I think President Trump's going to be there as well. So this guy, like, why don't you just focus on school? Why don't you focus on, you know, little things like that? I know. I can't wait till he turns 18 and he'll be fair game. Of course, nobody will know when he turns 18. They'll keep that a secret because they want to continue to silence you. Shouldn't he be in school? Yeah, maybe. That is this week in Dallas. Oh, good, Barbara. So he's trying to stop the First Amendment. That's right, Chezzy, because only the left has the First Amendment. He turned 18 a week ago or so. Julia, I tried to find when his birthday was. I could never find it on the internet. Can you give me a source? Can you like DM me with a source? I would love that because the moment I know that he's 18 and I can verify that, he's fair game. Kim said he's too big for his britches. Yeah, I would like to know the exact date of his birthday. And it's funny how it's been kept very quiet, isn't it? You'd think that his whole gang would be celebrating. Sarah was absolutely beautiful. So glad she held her head high and had her head up strong. Handled it with grace, tact, and total class. Love her, Monique said. There was a tweet saying happy 18th birthday. Oh, very nice. He will always be an arse, Lynn said. Yes. Well, he's another one who just, he's parroting what he's been told, and that's it. Let's see. Other information. Reuters is saying there was a poll that was done by Reuters of 16,000 registered voters ages 18 through 34, and it shows that their support for Democrats over Republicans is slipping. CNN Pig, Barbara said. 9 percentage points. It has slipped. He's been trained by left and is being paid. Exactly, 29/11. He is, over the past 2 years, overall, it's right now at 46% in support of Democrats versus Republicans. So that's a good sign. Let's keep that going where the millennials and that age group supports Republicans. I mean, they are good people and they're smart people. Millennials are, for the most part. So let's let their intelligence show through and see that the Democrats are leading them astray. Bernie is coming. Oh. It was like Hogg was waiting for that tragedy to become a media hog. Probably, Chezzy. Let's see. An Army vet posted a picture of a disgusting clinic room in Salt Lake City, Utah. Supposedly, that's what it depicted. And that's pretty sad. I thought things were supposedly better at the VA. And of course, they probably aren't. And let's see who they're going to get next time who wants to go in and be dragged through the mud to become the VA secretary. That's going to be hard to find. All right, so guys, just as you remember, today at 4 o'clock Eastern, God's Views on Political News. You just go to the God's Views on Political News page. Due to Bill's schedule change, we're going to have the live God's Views on Political News today instead of tomorrow. Next week, we hope to be back on the regular schedule on Tuesday. I know it went really fast. If you would, everybody, please retweet this. Being shadow banned like everybody else. So the more we get this out, the better. Thank you so much. God bless you. We'll see you again tomorrow. Take care. Thank you, everybody on YouTube. Please share this if you will. See you again tomorrow. God bless.